morning, everyone. First of all, we just would really like to thank everyone, all of the alumni who have come out to speak to us today on Alumni Leadership Day. Also, if you haven't picked up your packet yet or checked in, make sure that you do that after this assembly or this meeting that we all have together. And first, I'd like to turn it over to Chris Levitt, who is the Kinkaid Young Professionals Organization past president.
Thank you. About 11 p.m. last Saturday evening, I got a phone call, which when you're my age and you're married, you get a phone call at 11 p.m. on Saturday, it usually means somebody's dead. But it was my boss, and he said, Chris, I need for you to be at a private airport tomorrow morning on Sunday at 7:45, and I need for you to be in a suit. He said, can you do that? And I said, well, I guess that depends on what it is you need me to do. He said, well, you're going to meet some other lawyers there. A plane's going to meet you and take you to where I am, and we're going to mock debate a presidential candidate tomorrow at about 11 a.m. And I said, well, I guess I can do that. It's not, normally what I do. Immediately following this assembly, I'm scheduled to drive down to Galveston to meet with Galveston's mayor on some unrelated matters. The reason I'm telling you these things is because I feel like I have probably the most exciting job I could have ever gotten. And the truth is I would have never gotten it but for attending Kinkaid. And that is the honest truth. For y'all that don't know me, my name is Chris Levitt. I'm a member of the class of 1998, and like Nikki said, I am the past president of the KYPO. The KYPO is a young alumni group that brings together members of the classes of 1998 to 2006. We bring people together for networking type events, events like today, where we've brought 20 outstanding alumni panelists back to Kinkaid to talk to y'all about their experiences since graduation. As soon as y'all do graduate, and I know that'll be in the near future, I hope that y'all stay engaged in the Kinkaid community. If you're anything like me, you won't realize how special this place is until you've already graduated. Stay involved in the alumni group, stay involved in the Kinkaid community. I don't think you realize how important that is until you actually get home. But you do have some time until you graduate, and so I do hope you enjoy today's activities. I do hope you take advantage of the opportunities that you will have today, and I do wish you the best of luck in your first year of college. And now it's my pleasure to turn the podium over to Mr. North.
Thank you very much, Chris, and it's a pleasure to welcome everybody here. This is always an exciting and valuable day, and I want to just sort of second what Chris said, that I hope you'll take advantage of the opportunity that you have here. I think I'm sure Chris would say that, just about 13 years ago when he was a senior, he was thinking about senior year activities and what's going on and so forth. It's normal for you to think about that, but you've got a great opportunity here to hear from very, very successful and impressive people who have all sat in those chairs and who I think can tell you some things that are very, very useful. And my main purpose here this morning is to introduce our keynote speaker, Todd Litton. Todd Litton graduated from Kinkaid in 1988. His brother is also an alum from the class of 2001, and his sister, Elizabeth Litton Hogan, is the class of 1991. And two of Todd's brothers-in-law have attended Kinkaid: Wyatt Hogan, class of 1990, and Brett Hogan, class of 1993. And I think most of those people are here today, along with Todd's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Litton. It's good to see you again, and welcome to Kinkaid. Todd earned a BA in English from Duke University, a law degree from the University of Texas at Austin, and an MBA from Rice University's Jones Graduate School of Business. He began his career practicing law and also as a hedge fund portfolio analyst at Enron. He then moved into the nonprofit world and served as the director of Preschool for All, a joint early childhood business effort to expand access to quality preschool in Houston and in Texas. The Children's Defense Fund recognized him as an emerging leader for his work there. He then came back into the business world and became a vice president and wealth advisor for UBS's Financial Services, where he worked for almost 5 years. And he worked with individual clients to help them grow, preserve, and distribute their assets. After that time, Todd joined Citizen Schools as Executive Director of Texas in 2009. Citizen Schools partners with public middle schools to import proven education reform strategies and turn around low-performing schools. In this capacity, he leads the development of the Citizen Schools network in Houston and also cultivates the growth of this organization across the state. He has also played an active role in the Houston and Texas community for many, many years, including board leadership on the Immunization Partnership, the Education Foundation of Harris County, Small Steps Nurturing Center, and the Texas Lyceum Association. Please join me in welcoming back to Kinkaid, Todd Litton.
Thanks a lot, Mr. North, and I want to thank my entourage for traveling with me. I'm bringing them along too. So I talk a lot about having a supportive family, a supportive network, and you can see that it's still going on today, which is great. Good morning to you all. I hope that you're excited for today. I know I'm excited and thrilled to be here and help you think about what your career may look like over the next 5, 10, or 20 years. I also appreciate Mr. North not mentioning how long ago I was in these seats. But I'll just tell you, I think he said class of '88 actually, so it was 23 years ago when I graduated. I think it's important to acknowledge today that you are coming of age in a pretty difficult time. There's a lot of political unrest and instability in our country. There's a lot of economic instability. And I think it might be normal, in fact, for you guys to feel a little anxious about what does the future hold for you? What's it going to look like over the next 5, 10, or 20 years? As you think about your life after Kinkaid, I hope you know and understand that we will need you and we will need your generation to really step up and help us overcome a lot of the mess that we face today. It may not always seem fair, but I think you can play a large role in making that happen. Thanks to your time at Kinkaid, your efforts, the efforts of your teachers and your parents, you're going to be well equipped to make a big difference in our country and in your local community as well. And I hope, too, as you leave, you're going to feel a sense of responsibility to take a leadership role in helping us overcome the challenges we face and helping bring people together to make our country the place that we all hope and wish for it to be. In hopes of helping you think about the choices you may face over the next 5 or 10 years, I'd like to share with you 3 lessons that I have learned over the years and the various careers that I've had. When I graduated from college, I went straight into law school. That was something that seemed, in a sense, really comfortable to me. My dad had been a successful lawyer for a number of years, and I really felt like I understood that path. Let me be clear that neither of my parents tried to talk me into going to law school, and my dad, in fact, tried to talk me out of it. In reflection, I think I chose that path because I knew it so well. It was something that I understood. You take the bar exam, you get a job, you make a good living practicing law. And it was also a path that was not only familiar to me, but felt respectable and something that I felt I could work with as far as in my community, but then also in my peer group. People understood practicing law. This is what you do. That's a good thing. For some reason, what I didn't anticipate when I started practicing law was that it was not that exciting or interesting to me. I love the trials I have, but they seem to be few and far between, and I couldn't really stand measuring my life in coffee spoons or billable hours, as it were. I had the good fortune, though, to work with some excellent lawyers who had a real zeal and a real passion for their work. And I noticed with that spark that they had, it's what, in a sense, really drove them to true excellence. Recognizing that and thinking about that, I thought, I could be a very good lawyer. I can do the job. But also realized I didn't have that spark or that passion that would drive me to be truly excellent. So the first lesson I'd like to leave you with today, the first thought I'd like to leave you with is, be careful of choosing the easy, or comfortable, or known path. Don't be afraid to get outside of your comfort zone and look for that special thing that might really ignite your passion and your interest and help drive you to excellence in your future and your career. After practicing law, I became interested in going into business, and so I decided to go back to Rice and get my MBA. As Mr. North mentioned, my goal had been at the time, it's about 10 years ago, to run my own hedge fund. And I felt fortunate at the time to be able to graduate and go to work for what looked like the best company and the best job in the country. And that was to be a hedge fund analyst within Enron's hedge fund. A lot of people don't even know they had a hedge fund, but we bought and sold stock in other companies at Enron. Little did I know how exciting this would be. I started in the summer of 2001, and in December of 2001, I was laid off about 4,000 other people and looking for a job. You know, in some ways I was really lucky. I did get a little experience as a hedge fund analyst, and then I had a front row seat for what was essentially the largest corporate implosion in U.S. history. I also didn't have a lot of real equity or sweat equity invested in the company. I hadn't been there for 10 or 20 years and worked my way up. There were a lot of great people who got really hurt, unfortunately, in that blow up. You know, I, again, didn't have a lot of time there invested. It was certainly a curveball for me, but it wasn't something that was devastating or something that really you know, set me back in a lot of ways. The second lesson I'd like to leave with you today is to be careful of choosing the biggest or brightest or shiniest thing out there. You know, I had some questions about Enron, its culture. I had some bad feelings about it, but I think in a sense I'd rationalize if it was that bad, you know, it couldn't be doing quite as well as it had been doing. So I'd just caution you. It's not to say not to choose something like that, but to give it a hard scrubbing, to really make sure that, you know, what you think is there, the steak, if you will, is there behind the smoke and the sizzle. So how did I find my passion and what I love doing and working in education, what I think will be my life's work? The different experience I had, including Enron, led me to my current career, and one that was not, at least at first, really a comfortable fit. While a career in education reform is not a traditional path for a lot of Kinkaid alumni, it is one that I find incredibly rewarding. And it's one that I have a true passion for, and it drives me to be my best every day. After Enron, I became involved in early childhood education, a field about as far from a hedge fund manager as one can get. But I found real joy and real excitement in working to expand opportunities for high-quality preschool for every kid in our state. I also became involved, as Mr. North mentioned, on several boards that were focused on education and health issues within our community and within our state. And the more I became involved in those efforts, the more I wanted to be involved in those efforts. When an opportunity arose for me to leave my position at UBS and head up the education reform efforts of citizen schools, for me, frankly, I felt it was a time to put up or shut up. In some respects, my decision to leave the for-profit world and go to work in citizen schools was an easy one. I knew what I wanted and even needed to do. Still, I did not make the decision lightly. Fortunately, I had a great network of support in my wife and family who understood my passion for this work, and who supported and even encouraged my taking this path. Without their encouragement and support, I know that taking a non-traditional path would have been a lot more difficult to do. Kinkaid, too, played a role in my decision. While working in the nonprofit world is somewhat non-traditional, one of my best friends, Chuck Schofield, also in the class of '88, had chosen a similar pathway some 10 or 12 years ago. Chuck is one of the national leaders at an amazing hunger relief organization, Share Our Strength, based in D.C. He not only served as a role model for me, but also a great thought partner, someone I could really bounce ideas off of as I was thinking about making this shift into the nonprofit sector. Now, you don't, or won't, I hope, live life in a vacuum. The decisions you make for the careers you choose will impact your current family and your future family. I've been fortunate to have my wife, parents, our kids, you want me to say their names, Delia, Kate, and Jack, and family supportive all the way. And that kind of support and encouragement cannot be underestimated. We live in a culture of high achievement, but always remember to not get so caught up in your careers that you forget to nurture the relationships that are most important to you. Involve the people you love in your life, namely your family, your friends, and your teachers and mentors, in the questions and decisions you have. Educate them on your thoughts. Educate them on what your questions are as you try to make these decisions. Additionally, my faith and how I was raised played a big role in my career shift and in the direction my career path has taken. While our faiths and beliefs may differ, don't be afraid to let that instruct or even guide your decisions in the future. My final thought for you would be to find your passion in life, wherever it may lie, with the people you love in mind, and to pursue that passion with all your might. We here have all been blessed by the education that we received at Kinkaid. This is not the education the majority of our kids in the country receive. It has become all too evident to me as I work in our education system how dysfunctional, how broken it really is. And if we leave that system in the state it's in, it will impact our ability to compete technologically and innovatively, and our future growth and our future economic prosperity, frankly, I think will be at great peril. Moreover, I've always appreciated here in Texas how we like to say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. There's a sense that if you're able and willing to work hard, that you can really achieve in our community and in our state. I think it's special about where we are in the country. But for many children who are born to poor and uneducated families, the only bootstraps they have, the only chance they have at pulling themselves up and creating a better life is their education. When we don't provide every child an education, phrases like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, I think, become far too empty. I'm not here today to tell you all to start your own nonprofit or to enlist in the Peace Corps, etc. We need excellent lawyers, great investment managers, great doctors, engineers, and CEOs. Please don't think I'm saying that these aren't worthy professions and careers, or that you'd be selling out if you pursued them. That's simply not the case. We also need people in those professions to take an active leadership role in their communities, in education and health challenges faced by the poor, intense religious and political dialogues, and in our general economic and civic well-being. Many of you have parents and grandparents who have played those roles in the past. For you and your generation, I hope that you will continue in that vein and even really step up your game. We're going to need you to do that. People I was in high school with have already played leadership roles in great organizations like the Children's Fund, Small Steps Nurturing Center, the Junior League, the Ronald McDonald House, and countless other organizations that make a tremendous difference in the lives of our community. But remember too, we do need excellent teachers and principals. We need leaders and social entrepreneurs in the nonprofit field, in health and education, in the environment, in our parks and the arts. Many of you can and should play leadership roles in a board capacity with those organizations. But not only in a board capacity, think about playing those roles in your professional lives every day. You might find that it's an incredibly rewarding way to live your life. I'm excited for each of you, for what you can do and what you will do in your future. I hope you make good decisions for your sake and for ours, and I hope these 3 lessons will help you do so. First, beware the easy and comfortable road. Second, don't just choose a career or job because it's the biggest or brightest or shiniest thing. And finally, find your passion for the people you love in mind and pursue it with all your might. Thanks so much and have a great day.